He had a standout game 1 week ago with 3 touchdown catches. It's the Eagles and the Giants, and it kicks off next on Madden NFL 24.
We welcome everybody to the Garden State EA Sports coverage of the NFL. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by a Heisman runner-up during his college days. It's the versatile Jalen Hurts.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance, because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. The numbers for him from a week ago. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
From the 29, here's 2nd down and 5. Once again, it's Swift. Yeah, he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32. You talk about this Giant defense. They played extremely well last week in that win over the Packers.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. Yeah, they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. 3rd and short, so didn't need much, but got a little extra on the backside. Nice run.
Chewed up the yardage, didn't he? To me, that was offensive line with leverage, good blocking angles, taking on a stacked defensive front. And once they chopped that little hole in the beginning, he took it and rambled.
And just the 3rd play from scrimmage, wanted to avoid the 3 and out and did just that. These two teams had met earlier in the season in Philly, with the Eagles winning that ball game. So they are looking for the sweep here at MetLife. Running is Swift. Gets past one man. It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue, just make sure you feed me the football? And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
It certainly looks like they still have some fight in them on this series, because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. This defense for the Giants, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape, because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Now it's Swift. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Throwing is Hurts. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
The kick by Elliott is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. Well, they moved the ball well there on the opening series. Running game was in sync. They were knocking on the doorstep, but ultimately, Charles, they'll have to settle for the field goal.
Well, they certainly were moving it well, and give this defense a ton of credit. Finally dug their heels in and forced the field goal. That's wondered in his game partner. Will this offense look back at this drive and think to themselves, if we'd gotten 6, we'd be in a better spot.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The former number 6 overall pick of 2019, Daniel Jones, trots out to lead this New York Giants offense.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there was also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an
And
interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
At the 19-yard line.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So roughing the passer, and this is a unit, Charles. They hold their breath every time they see their quarterback go down and get hit like that.
Yeah, they understand how important these last couple of months are for this team. They can ill afford to have anything happen to him if they want to accomplish their goals.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. You look at this Eagle defense. They were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you can tell by this team, all right? Anytime you can tell your offense, hey, just get us a couple touchdowns. We got this thing locked down. That's when you know you're playing well and you're carrying your team along.
And he'll get it out to midfield. He'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
And he will have a Giants 1st down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. Now Jones. His throw incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Ready to roll for the second quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Again, it's Barkley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Here we go. Hey.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss.
And he lost the football. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the 1st, right around the 15. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something.
And he'll try and throw here on the fake. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. Bobby Okereke making that tackle.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. 77 yards on the ground here for Swift. And he's got a 1st down as well. Here's Hurts to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brown. And he's brought down, but not before a gain of 13, down to the 13. 1st and 10 in the red zone. Swift going to try up the middle. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Brian Brzee, the man to bring him down.
Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just float from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Here's a handoff to Swift. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
They'll try and run here with Swift. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. DeAndre Swift with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are able to extend their lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead grows to 10-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive.
Now they are back to 500 now. The win last week, their third in a row. And the question is this run coming too late to make a difference in the playoff race?
Great question. They definitely still have some work to do, but I think a lot of folks were writing this team off about 3 weeks ago, even some of their own fans. So I suggest you put some extra shocks on the old bandwagon because this team has rebounded. Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
Running again with Barkley on second down.
And this one also slow and developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The Giants on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Throwing Jones. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. It'll go in the books as a sack and a loss of a yard, but more importantly, it leads to 4th down.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
And the Giants send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. 39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. This offense ready for their upcoming series as we get a look at the former Heisman Trophy winner Devontae Smith.
And the previous drive put him up over 1,000 yards for the season. So now it's what you like to refer to, my friend, as gravy time, right?
It is. I mean, he's done it, right? He's accomplished the goal. So the good players, they relax a little, they bask in it. They think this is, okay, we've done what we set out to do. The great players decide to push that number as high as they possibly can. I don't expect him to have any let-up in his game the rest of the way.
Great thing if you're on the opposite side. He's such a weapon. He just opens things up for the other guys around him.
Yeah, if you're the opposite receiver, you should expect a few passes to come your way, too, because I've got to kick coverage in his direction.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Here's Swift. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. DeAndre Swift with career touchdown number 70. And the Eagles will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And able to get this out to the 25. The Giants now going to take over late in this first half. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive.
Jones now throwing to start the drive.
He'll find Hodgins there complete.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
A final shot before break. Jones.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Keely Ringo picks it off, and he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So we've reached
past the halfway point of the season and now past the halfway point of this game. We skip halftime and get right back to the action. Set to begin the 3rd quarter.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. A very one-sided first half. 17-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. Yeah, that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on third down. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he will have a Giants first down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Up the middle with Barkley. And he'll get this up to about the 40. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7.
Lock in the cage. Lock in the cage.
And 3 at the 40-yard line.
Jones is going to put it in the hands of Barkley on the option. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Jones from the gun on 3rd down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
That one deep for Hodgins. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Again, he'll drop to throw. That is caught. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 32-yard line. A gain of 22. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. Hodgins in motion. A first down carry for Barkley. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
2nd down, here's Barkley again. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got to jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
What's the deal, y'all?
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
They still need 6 yards here on 3rd down after the penalty. Back to throw. Jones.
And that's going to be incomplete. Fourth down now looming after Philly's defense stands tall in coverage.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
So the Giants now are going to turn it over to their field goal unit. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need him to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. So here are the Eagles to take over. Last week they defeated the Broncos, and they've got the lead here as well as they work with a 1st and 10. Hurts. Throwing for Smith on the out route, and it's caught. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. This defense trying to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
33 yards that time.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a...
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. Now a hit and a loose football. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and that will bring up 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage, because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
To throw again on 2nd down, Jones. And that one complete to Hodgins. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that will bring up 3rd and 1.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. They'll run with Barkley. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. Saquon Barkley denied on fourth down. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Call that a very strong gain of 24. They'll set up a throw. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A.J. Brown laying himself out in the end zone. And the Eagles up the lead to 4 scores now here in this fourth quarter. Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28.
Giants 3. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. New York's offense back out there and set to go. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth quarter hole.
Half 18.
Now Jones throwing on first down. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's second down.
2 yards on the pickup. It's second and 8 at the 29-yard line.
Looking to throw. Jones. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Well, offensively, Charles, hard to put a silver lining on this one. No secret that they had to take chances with a score where it is, and it leads to a turnover.
I love how you paint the picture, partner, because you're exactly right about that one. Look at the empty stairs on that sideline. This is one of those games we just want to go crawl under a rock until it's over.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Second down, here's Jalen Hurts. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby Okereke. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. I'm calling luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for. They are certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the fourth quarter.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
They go play action with Hurts. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28. They'll look to throw again. Touchdown, Eagles. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Eagles have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the 4th. Elliott good with a PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The possession switching back to the New York Giants. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play.
And now off to the races down the right side. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That one good for 37 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. Pressure comes and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. The short throw pulled in by Bellinger.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. Buried for the sack by big Jalen Carter.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. This has really just been a lopsided affair. What a performance they put on, and now they get the football back here with a big lead in the 4th quarter. You know, in the past, we might be discussing dinner plans, talking about steak and sushi, whatever the case is, CD. This ball game is pretty much well in the books.
Yeah, we really could have started bringing up dinner a long time ago if we wanted to, partner. And I think a few of the guys out in the field already making plans for the evening.
Hey, let's go.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. And this is caught. It's Brown. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
First down, Eagles.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is out of bounds but not before he's inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Hurts sets up to throw it. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference to see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Easy, 63, back,
Throwing is Hurts. And this is going to be intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it. And the Giants are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here's Jones on 1st down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Okay, here we go.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing again. Jones. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Jones now to throw on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10.
Great, set.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
Now this throw caught left side. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the 4th.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting.
Jones hit, and the ball's out. And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered, because had the defense gotten it, they were already within the shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage,